Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Thor Screwdriver. Hey, John and crew. So it's being reported that the new Netflix ad tier, which they were saying was going to save their company, is off to a really bad start, with almost half the subscribers just being existing subscribers downgrading to the cheaper model. Could this ad-supported trend in the streaming world be really short-lived, or does it have a chance of making a big impact? Thanks.
All right, Thor Screwdriver. The often overlooked Thor Screwdriver.
Yeah.
Always, the hammer always getting the attention.
It's like Doctor Who's Screwdriver, but different.
Oh, I don't watch Doctor Who, so that didn't mean anything to me.
I got you, bud.
All right, so here's the thing about this. We've always talked about the interesting thing about the dynamic of streaming is that it actually doesn't matter how many people watch a show. It really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is, does a show trigger new subscribers? That's it. Because if you got a show that 1 billion people watch, it doesn't actually make the streaming service anything. If anything, it costs them a lot of money for the hosting and the bandwidth that they got to pay for. So it really doesn't mean them anything. But what about an ad-supported tier, going back to the days of regular cable television? But with an ad-supported tier on your streaming service, which we are seeing with Hulu, Hulu's had one for a while, which we are now seeing on Disney Plus, which we are now seeing on Netflix, which is going to be adopted. Peacock's had one for a while. That dynamic means that the more people who do watch a show, hey, now there's value to it. You know, Netflix would often be in the habit of canceling shows after 2 or 3 seasons, even though they were popular, because they were no longer generating new subscribers. So people tuning in to watch these 3rd and 4th and 5th seasons, it didn't actually make them any money, so they would axe them. In a new paradigm where you have ad-supported tiers, where guess what? Even if nobody new signs up to subscribe to watch that show, as long as people are watching it, we're making money off of it. So it was going to usher in this new golden era of streaming. It was going to be this golden payday child. Well, Netflix has launched theirs, and according to the story now out there, they may have launched it, but this ain't Kevin Costner, and if you build it, they will come, because it's kind of open with a bit of a thud at this point. This comes to us from the folks. Actually, I lost my spot. Where did my article go? All right. This comes to us from the folks over at, there it is, Variety. Oops, that's the one. I lost my article. Anyway, from IndieWire, they write this. According to the Wall Street Journal, subscription analytics firm Antenna, which is one of the major ones in the business, is reporting that the ad-supported plan was the least popular Netflix tier during its first month of availability, accounting for only 9% of new user signups. 57% of subscribers to this new tier in the first month were new signups, but 43% just downgraded from the more expensive plans. For comparison, when HBO Max's ad tier launched for $9.99 a month in June of last year, Antenna reported that it drove 15% of new signups in the United States during its first month, with only 14% of new customers downgrading from the premium tier. That's huge. So not only did they have a bigger base number of new subscribers for this new tier, but whereas HBO, only 14% of them were already existing customers who just downgraded to the thing. 43% of these Netflix people who went and signed up for the ad tier were already Netflix subscribers that just decided to downgrade. Not a great launch. Now, whether this is a result of, much like everything else in Netflix, they didn't do enough to promote this. I mean, say what you want about the Disney Plus little scheme about let's raise the prices on our regular thing and call the new ad-supported tier the cheaper tier when really it's the same price we did. Say what you want about it. They marketed it. They put out press releases and they let the audience, they let their customers know about it, and it was out there. HBO did the same thing. Netflix just very, very quietly, and it seems like most of the people who are taking advantage of it are the ones who are just already subscribers anyway. So this is something they're going to have to get on the ball about. Rob, you read this report, you see what's happening. What's your takeaway from it?
Well, it's not good. I mean, the idea that they had so many people downgrade their existing subscriptions, that's the last thing in the world that Netflix wants. The whole point on having lower priced ad tiers is to get new subscribers to sign up, not have your current subscribers cut their subscription price in half. that's counterproductive. I mean, look, like everything else, though, this is the first month. This is all a transitional period. The streaming wars there's a long way for them to go to shake out.
We are still in the infancy of the streaming wars.
Absolutely, and we're seeing where all of this is going to go. And Disney Plus losing their $4 billion on streaming. Like, I think that what we're seeing is the studios had, I think, way too much expectation because they saw, hey, this is free money. For the very first time, all of these entertainment concerns, the great thing about subscriptions are they knew what their cash flow was going to be month to month. Studios didn't have that kind of assurance before. They, every movie they released was a shot in the dark. Like, we hope it works. But now when they have all this stuff, the problem is they didn't realize how much they'd have to feed that machine to keep people on board.
Yeah.
And the churn that has happened, because that was something that I'm sure that they should have anticipated it, but they haven't, because people just think, hey, you're a subscription for life. That's not the way things are. And they're still trying to figure out. I think ad tiers are a good idea, but we have to see over the course of a year, how is that going to play out? Is the majority of subscribers to Netflix going to downgrade? Because that wouldn't be good for them at all. Or are people going to stay without ads? I don't know. But again, we're in the infancy of all this. So I don't think this bodes well for the short term, though. I don't.
Chris, you see these numbers. So, like, two questions. One, what's your main takeaway from this? But number two, if Netflix were to actually start doubling down and really pushing and marketing this new tier, could they turn it around, or is this thing a dead fish from the start? What do you think?
I really think they could, because this is a long game kind of situation here, right? We've seen these hybrid models work with other streamers. Peacock, Paramount Plus, Hulu. They've all done really, really well with these ad tiers and doing it. What Netflix has the greater hurdle of coming over is that they have to retroactively now bring in commercials, which we've never had on there, right? So there are people who are going to be recalcitrant to it. Now, that being said, I already kicked off 3 people from my Netflix because of how I was going to have to pay for other people's Netflix accounts.
Right.
So I think in the coming months, we are going to see people slowly come on board once they can't do that anymore, or they realize they want this content on Netflix. Right now, we just have an abundance of different streaming things, right? We have so many new shows. Paramount Plus, honestly, is really dominating right now. Apple TV is really dominating right now. So Netflix might have taken a back seat. Even though they did so much quantity this year, there hasn't been a lot of quality on there, right? So hopefully in 2023, we'll see some really exciting projects that get people on board and want to use this situation here instead.
There is another big difference. And Jonathan, if you can bring that image up again, that's a great chart there. But one of the other big differences here, when you're talking about HBO and Disney Plus, for example, with Disney Plus, when you go to their quote unquote cheaper, which was just the same price as it was before, but their quote unquote cheaper tier, you get Disney Plus. The only difference is you get it with ads. Netflix went with the option that, at their $6.99 price model. The thing is, forget 4K. You don't even get 1080. You get 720. It also has some other limitations on it as well. You can't download the content like you can other things, which, by the way, is a really unique Netflix sort of thing. But I mean, they attach not only ads, but other disadvantages by taking it too. Whereas some of the other streamers is like the only disadvantage is you get ads. So that could play into it as well. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Do you think Netflix can turn this around? I mean, we've seen, like Chris said, we've seen some other streaming platforms have some success with this ad-supported tier. Do you think they need to take away that 720 limitation? Do you think there's other things they can do? Maybe they just need to start marketing it. Have you signed up for the ad-supported tier? Whatever you guys feel, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you get another 3 months for free. Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM, while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say it is the perfect time to switch. I have absolutely loved using Mint Mobile, and like I've told you guys many times, I am now spending less than 1/3 of what I used to spend under one of the other major mobile carriers. And now with the whole buy 3 months, get 3 months free deal, it's gets even better. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a select device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.